Hi, Nanika. Yeah. Hey everyone, welcome to the today's session SQL with Python. I'm really sorry for the delay, and there are really problem from my side. I'm really apologizing for that. So just give me a quick confirmation I'm audible or not. If I am audible, then please put a yes comment to the live chat. For that, we can start the today's session, right? And in the meantime, I will introduce you to Great Learning Academy. What is Great Learning Academy? So the Great Learning Academy is an initiative by Great Learning. It's a free platform where you will get almost 80 plus free courses, and after complete your course you can claim your certificate as well, right? What are the courses you will get over here? You will get like all the trending domain like data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, right? This is the list you can check over here, right? Yes, this is how you can actually do these courses for free, and after complete your course you can get your completion certificate, and also you will get the notebooks or the code book we are going to use, all the materials that is used in the course, right? So do not wait, please go and hurry up, do the session, do the courses as much as you can, and you can actually add those certificate to your LinkedIn or to your resume, right? It will actually make you stand out from the crowd, right? So just go and check that out. We do have lots of courses, and if you are someone who loves to do courses on Hindi, you are comfortable with Hindi more, we do have lots of courses in Hindi as well. So please do go and check that out. So let's go back to today's session, and today we are going to talk about SQL with Python. Right? So how to do SQL with Python. So before start talking about SQL with Python, I just want to have a good understanding from all of you that what is SQL? What do you think what is SQL? And how many of you have idea about Python? Right? So give me a quick response from all of that. And in the meanwhile, we will talk about today's agenda, right? So let's see what we are going to talk today. So first, we are going to talk about what is database, right? Then we will move on to, right? Then we will move on. What is the example of database we actually do, right? Why do we need database? We will check everything, right? After that, we will have a look at types of databases, right? What are the type of databases we have? Guys, can you see my screen? Give me a quick confirmation on that. Can you see my screen properly? I can see there are few problems from my side. Yes, SQL is nothing but structured query language. Okay, right? Yes. So SQL is a structured query language, and what is Python? Okay, so we will talk about the type of databases we have. Then we will see what is SQL. That someone already said SQL is nothing but structured query language. And if you want to do a whole course on SQL, then please do check out the courses we have in our Great Learning channel. For a full course we have, and we have done two project on that as well, right? Okay, I can see my okay, that's great that you guys are able to see my screen. And then we will have a look at a small like how can you install Python if you have any problem. And then we are going to do SQL with Python, right? So basically in this particular session, we will talk about SQL as well as Python. And it's going to be really interesting, guys. And I will do all the SQL commands from Python, right? You guys are up to for doing this interesting session. Give me a quick confirmation on that. And if you guys have any idea about the thing you want to learn, please do let me know that as well, right? So let's start with what is database. right? Okay, I can crystal. Okay, cool. So what is database? A database is nothing but a container where you can actually collect it and systematically manage your data. And managing manipulation of data are easy with database, right? A very quick understanding about what is database. Then we will jump into why do we need the database. Now, maybe I can give you a normal example of why do we need database, but I will give you a industry level explanation you can ask, or the example we are going to give you. Why? Because suppose you are someone who are enthusiast about data science. Not everyone is actually going for data science, but yeah, if you are someone who want to change your career to data science or related to anything related to artificial intelligence, then you will come up with the basic things we need for those technology is nothing but data. So what do you think, guys? Why these particular companies are trying to store their data? Again, it's a response from all of you, because I really like the interactive session. The more you will interact with me, the more you will learn, right? So just what do you think? It's your way of, like, I just want to understand what do you think that why these companies are trying to use their database, trying to use these technologies, what this technology and this data is going to give you. What do you think? A quick confirmation from all of you. And if you like the video, do not forget to like it. And if you feel like you want to get updated with the new content we are going to come up with, then please do subscribe Great Learning, right? And a very good news for all of you guys, we are going to come up with the session, come up with the uh, courses where we are going to talk about data mining, a full course on data mining. So for that, you have to keep tuned, and also you have to subscribe Great Learning, right? So let's see what is the example of database. And I have asked you that what do you think, why do we need databases? Why these companies are trying to use their database, right? Again, let me give you a quick example for that. That's nothing but, suppose you are working in Zomato or Swiggy. I give this example for all of my live session, because this is something I can see this, how this, not I, everyone who is this industry, they can see that, okay, with the data, the data is the main, what to say, it is everything for the companies, right? Because this data can give this a proper insights what they need to do next. Suppose they are going to launch a new product, they will try to do a market analysis on that. If you are not, if I'm not wrong, then you guys have heard about this term, that market intelligence analyst. What a market intelligence analyst does, they all need to work with data, they need to have a good understanding about SQL as well, right? And using those data, they try to find it out the insights, and from those insights they can come up with the solution, what can be next for the company, right? That's why we need database. Now a very simple example I can give you, that suppose you have an online telephone directory and they try to store the data for the name, address and phone number. They also want to go for their own databases. Now if I talk about the next database example, then an online library. Suppose I love to go for a PDF version of the, for any type of, you can say, books if I want to read. So I am I love to read lots of books. In that case, I love to go for PDF version, because it's really easily available and it's really cost effective as well, right? So in that case, if there is an online library who wants to have, who actually have millions of books, how can they have their own tracking, that what are the books they have, what are the genres they have? Yes, then also they have to have their own database. For a small startup to a big company, everyone has their data, and data security is really in high demand these days as well, just as a heads up. So now this, what are the types of database management system we have? We have hierarchical database, we have network database, relational database management system, and we have object oriented database. So we are not going to talk about different types of database as the session is going to be SQL with Python. I just want to give you a very introductory about database management system if you do not have idea about it. So basically we are going to use RDBMS. Do you guys know what is RDBMS? Again, a quick confirmation from all of you. Do you know what is RDBMS? Give me a quick response on that. For that I can understand, okay, you guys have idea about what is RDBMS, right? Yes. I'm just waiting for all of your, yeah, just waiting for all of your responses. Do you know what is RDBMS? Kashyap is saying yes, ma'am. Priya is saying no. What about others, guys? I can see 113 people are currently watching this particular video, and I just get just 3 response. Okay, now I'm getting the responses. And guys, if you like the video, do not forget to like it, because it's always motivates us to work for you, right? I can see only 71 likes. Sorry, 73 likes. Why don't we make it 100? Right? So, yep. Application to implement and manipulate database, relational database management system. Okay, some of you guys have idea about RDBMS, some of you doesn't have. That's not a problem. I will give you a quick heads up on what is relational database management system. But if you want to learn more about it, I will always suggest you to go and check out our video on Great Learning Academy. Great Learning Academy also in our channel. So we have a long course on SQL. You will get 2 projects as well. If you want, you can add them to your resume, right? Yes, SQL logic. Okay, RDBMS is based on relational model, right? Relational database management system. Yep. Okay, right. I can see you guys have really little bit of idea about relational database management system, and some of you have. Okay, right. Fine. So relational database management system is nothing but is relationship between the data. Now, how the RDBMS works? So they store the data in a tabular form. As they store the data in the tabular form, so you have different table. Now, if you do not know how to make a relationship between them, how can you manipulate your data? Yes, the storing all the data, understanding all the data, the basic thing we need about it. Yes, Kashyap, you are right. Acid properties. I'm not going to talk about acid properties right here, but yeah, this is also the part of RDBMS, right? So basically, relational database management system connect the data and the different file by using common data numbers, or maybe by using key concepts. There is a key concepts we have in relational database management system, right? So what is key concepts? Like, how many of you guys have idea about what is key, right? I'm not going to talk about lot about keys, but a quick heads up, or you can see, I just want to understand how many of you have the idea about keys, right? A quick understanding again from all of you guys. Be more interactive. I can see some of you are really interactive, and I just love taking session like this when my audience are really interactive and they just like the session as well. Okay, so just give me a understanding about how many of you have, yes, how many of you have idea about what is, what are the type of key we have in is like relational database management system. In this particular time, let me tell you what are the properties we have in RDBMS. So in RDBMS, values are atomic in nature. While you will start working on RDBMS, you will understand what is that actually mean by. Each row is different, columns are different, there will be no redundancy in the data. Each column can have a common name, right? And integrity constants help to maintain the data consistency for multiple tables. That's like a really advanced term for some of you who doesn't know about it. But in the case of relational database, one tagline you can say, RDBMS is basically there is making a relation between the table to just retrieve your data and also manipulate your data. Okay. So Hitesh is saying primary key and foreign key. Okay, so we have different type of keys as well, not only primary and foreign key. So again, want to have idea about the different types of key, then I will suggest you go and check out our course on that. Okay, right, most of them has idea about primary key and foreign key. Okay. Okay, now let's see what is MySQL. MySQL is a database management system, and also it is a relational database management system software. Right, there is a big question I get, and it's a the difference between SQL and MySQL. So what do you think, guys? What is the difference between SQL and MySQL? Because so many times when I take this session, or maybe something related to related to data science, related to database management system, what do you think? What is the difference between SQL and MySQL? If you can give me a quick heads up on that, what do you think? What is MySQL? What is SQL? I just want to clear that out as well. That particular doubt about these two terms. Again, I just want this session to be more interactive, guys. I want you guys are really interactive, and I love to and I love to take session like this. Okay. Hey Nikhil, you are right. It's primary key, foreign key, candidate key, super key, composite key. Right. I can see one answer, that's the who has actually give the proper key names. Okay, someone has asked me DBMS and RDBMS. I will give the answer. Said no idea. SQL is a language. MySQL is a database. No, Kashyap, you are not right in this case. Okay, what else, guys? Quick understand, like quick response for this particular one. Maybe if you don't know, that's not a problem. I am there to help you out. It's a software where we store our data in MySQL software. Okay, SQL is DBMS and MySQL is RDBMS. No, Nikhil, MySQL is database and SQL is language. No. Okay, so MySQL is a software by Microsoft where you can implement the idea of SQL. SQL is a structured query language to manipulate your data. I hope you guys understand what's the difference between SQL and MySQL. MySQL is basically a software which supports RDBMS and by Microsoft. Right? I hope you guys understood about that. Right, Sharath. It's a software where we store our data in MySQL database. Right. Yes, this was pretty much about what is database, and someone asked me about the DBMS and RDBMS. A quick again answer. So DBMS and RDBMS is the name says relational database management system. Right. RDBMS is a data relational database management system, whereas DBMS is a database management system but not relational database management system. We do have different type of database management system, as we have said when we started the session, right? So yes, so guys, do you know how to install MySQL? Someone asked me this question, difference between SQL and MySQL. Your doubts got cleared, right? Do you guys have any doubts till so far what we have talked about? Yes, Srinivas, Oracle DB is from Oracle company and MySQL is from Microsoft. Right. So guys, do you have any doubt how to install MySQL? Do you want me to show how to install MySQL? If not, then we will move forward for what is Python. Hey Deepak, we are not going to do this session on Hindi currently, but we do have lots of session in Hindi. You can check them out, right? Okay. Srinivas is asking, so Oracle versus MySQL. Again, it's up to you which one you want to go for. There are few specifications we do have, obviously, but again, it's not that different again. Okay, some of say that I'm having error in MySQL installation. Okay, so some of you guys say that you guys have problem in install MySQL. Then why don't you check out our video on how to install MySQL, right? And let me still show you one thing about, okay. If I just write MySQL downloads, It's already came, right? So you just need to write MySQL download. It will redirect to you to the official website. Let me show you on that. Okay, can you see this is their official website for MySQL, and here if you just go down, you will get an option for MySQL GPL community GPL downloads. Just click over there, right? And in this case my meet is little, so guys, I'm really sorry for that. Then there is an option for MySQL workbench, right? Just click on MySQL workbench. It will redirect to you which workbench you want to go for. Hey Tanmay, we do have courses on MySQL, right? There we have done lots of practical, right, on SQL. You can check them out. I feel you will like it, right? So yeah, you can see over here. Hey Izzy, MySQL is from Microsoft, right? Okay, so Microsoft Windows you have, and here you have Mac OS, you have Ubuntu Linux, the whatever the like operating system you have. According to that, you can go and download. So now go to download page. You will go, and from there you have the option. I would suggest you go for the bigger one. You will get all the facilities, right? That too in offline. Okay, so you can see you can download over here directly. Okay, right. Right. So let me just close this. This is how we do use, yeah, this is how we do use you can install MySQL, right? Okay, right. Now, how many of you guys have idea about what is Python? A quick understanding. Okay, some of you. My system couldn't work in SQL. So maybe you can reinstall your SQL and it will actually help you to do that. Okay. Can you once explain the difference between SQL and MySQL? So basically, MySQL is a software where we can do all this, all these things we do, and SQL is the language. Right? Okay. Right. So some of you guys are saying, I do have idea about what is Python. Okay. Right. Okay. So if you know what is Python, then let me just give you a quick understanding about what is Python in one line. Python is a popular high-level, object-oriented and interpreted language. Right, Nikhil? Right? Yes. Okay. Python is English. Python is programming language, is a language which reach libraries and packages, right? Right. It is dynamic language. Okay, right. Yes, Python is basically popular high-level object-oriented and interpreted language. Again, what is that? Just try to understand. If you know, like, it's a high level language, you don't need to take care of all the low level thing we do for like just to connect with your computer. You don't need to do that. In the case of Python, we do have lots of libraries you can work with, right? And if you know English, that every time I said, if you know English, how to construct a sentence, it's Python is almost same to do that, right? This is what Python is. And object oriented, yes, there is a whole concepts about object oriented programming we have, so it supports object oriented programming as well, right? This is what Python stands for. Now if we quickly have a look at the benefits of Python, then if someone wants to do web development using Python, you can go for Python. Then the length of the program is really short because working with Python is really easy. Guys, do not spam in the live chat. It's just my request to all of you. If you can write one time, I can see that. SQL with C++, maybe we will come up with this particular idea, but for this session, we are going to do SQL with Python. So please do not spam in the live chat. It's request for all of you. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now Python is simple and beginner friendly language. Yes. Python is simple and beginner friendly. Now mathematical computation can be done easily. If you want to go for data science, right? Yes, if you are someone who wants to go for data science, you really need to work with lots of mathematical parts. That time you can easily choose Python, who will give you a good understanding about, or you don't need to implement all of this mathematical thing from the scratch. You will get lots of predefined function from different types of library we have in Python. Yes, Python gives lots of libraries. The basic, the most important part of Python, right? Yes. Now let's have a look at a graphical user interface. If you are someone who wants to make your own gaming console and you want to have your GUI, that is also available in Python. What else you need, right? So Python is very easy. So if you are someone who has no idea about Python, yes, then go for it and learn. We do have lots of courses in Python as well, right? Okay, so now if we talk about the important libraries in Python, then we have NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and Seaborn. Yes, if you want to know about these particular libraries, then you have to check out our courses, right? There is no other option for you, right? So for a give heads up again, NumPy is nothing but used for numerical Python. So if you want to go for some numerical analysis, you should go for NumPy. Pandas is data manipulation library. Matplotlib and Seaborn is a data visualization library. Right? So guys, do you have any doubt till so far? And scikit-learn is basically for machine learning. Right? Now, okay. Now we are going to talk about the demo part. Right? So let's go and let's have a look at the demo. How can you do SQL with Python? So for this case, we are going to use Anaconda. Let me show you. Yes. So here we are going to start with Anaconda. So what is Anaconda? How many of you have idea about Jupyter Notebook? Again, I just want a quick response from all of you. Right? So what is Jupyter Notebook? What do you think? Anaconda is based IDE. Some of you guys are saying Django framework cover all SQL query into SQL model. Yes, it does. Right? Okay. Right. So in this case, I just it's going to take a little bit of time. I don't know if is it for my net is little slow. So we are going to use Anaconda, and this particular to use Anaconda, what you need to do, we are going to use Jupyter Notebook from there. Yes, user friendly. No, Anaconda is not a data science library. Okay. Right. So let's talk about the connector, right? So it's not IDP, it's an IDE. Integrated Development Environment. So guys, do you have any doubt till so far what we have talked about? If you do not have, now we are going to do the particular demo, okay? I don't know, is it not working or is my net is problem? Restart and run all. Let me restart it, right? Okay, so first start with, yes, you can do same in PyCharm. Any ID you can do. For the Google Colab, maybe you have to look into that for Google Colab as it's not connected with your local system, right? Right. So for doing a MySQL, executing command for MySQL, what we need to do, we have to make sure we have a MySQL connector, which is for Python, right? Yes, I just zoomed my screen, but I don't know, my net is really not working fine. That's why it's taking a lot of time to get installed. Right. Okay, I got a question from difference between IDE and library. IDE is used for where you can do your coding in a very, it will give you a proper environment to do your coding. Whereas for library, there are lots of function. It's library you have in the particular language, right? And IDE is for where you will get an environment where you can do the coding, right? I hope you got the answer is scale logic, right? Yes, Jupyter Notebook. Some of you guys like to work with Jupyter Notebook. Some of you wants to work with like, so Google Colab, it's up to you, or Spider, Visual Studio, there are a lot of option you have, right? So now we are going to talk about that, how can you install Anaconda MySQL connector. Right now, let me do this. Let me just interrupt this. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I don't know why it's not working for my case. Okay. Let me reconnect my kernel once more, right? Okay, right. Now what I'm going to do to connect my SQL connector in Python, you can directly do that in pip install MySQL connector Python, right? After you do that, can you see it's showing requirements already satisfied? And if you want to do conda install, you can do that in the Anaconda. Yeah, I know my system is getting slow these days. Yes. Right. Yes, you can use from SQL Plus as well. That's not a problem. So yes, you can see I have installed a connector. Yes, to work with the SQL, you have to have a connector with the Anaconda to connect with your SQL, right? So I have used MySQL for that, right? Okay, now we will connect with SQL. How to connect with SQL? You have to import mysql.connector, right? After you write MySQL, first I have installed this particular library, right? Which is a connector for my Python and MySQL. Now I have to import it. What I have to import it? I need to write import mysql.connector, right? Till this part, everything is clear, guys? If you again like the video, do not forget to like it and do not forget to subscribe Great Learning, right? Right. Okay. So basically what we need to do, we have to talk with, I'm really sorry for the interruption, guys. Okay. Right. What we need to, we have to go for mysql.connector.connect, right? How to do that? So I'm sorry, I'm taking a pause. The phone is ringing. Okay. Now what we need to do, we have written mysql.connector.connect, right? We have to call this particular function. After we call this particular function, what we are going to write? We are going to write host equals to local host, right? So your host is local host. How come you get to know it's a local host or what? Suppose you have go for, like, after you install your MySQL workbench, if I can show you, you can see this, all the information you will get over here. So here, this is local instance, right? Okay. So guys, do you have any covered till so far? Okay, right. So what we trying to do from here, we will do, like you can see, this is the root and this is the local host we have, right? Yes, I know. I'm so sorry for the ringtone. Is it possible to connect local SQL database to Python server? Yes, you can. Basically, I am going to connect my local SQL to the server itself. Hey, thank you, Kashyap. Okay, for this session, you will not get. Hey guys, I'm back and I think you will not get the same problem. Right. Hey, I just reconnected. Now is it working? Everyone can see me? Can everyone see me? Now is it connected? Yes, I know it was buffering because my Wi-Fi was not right. Okay, I can see. Yes, the net is connected. I can see. Okay, okay. I'm so sorry for the delay and this network issue. Right? Okay. Now what we are going to do? So you can see this is mysql.connector.connect. Right? We are going to talk about, as we were talking about, right? So in this particular case, your host name will be localhost, right? I'm really sorry for the delay, guys. right? So from there, how can you see your host name? So your local instance is basically, if you go to your MySQL, you can check here over here, right? That local instance MySQL 80, and this is your root, right? And there it's your local host, right? So this is how your MySQL, like the thing you have to put, you will get all the information over here, right? The thing I'm hovering, right? This is the local host and this is the root basically. Now let's go back to there. You can see the host equals to local host, you can see the user equals to root, right? And password equals to, I have given the password. While you are going to install MySQL, you have to give the password, right? So for my case, I have given the password 1234567 8, right? Let me just execute that. Okay, you can see MySQL.connection is already, it's connected with my MySQL. So yes, you can connect anything with Python, that's not a problem, right? So now I am going to create a table in my database. How to do that? So I have done this part, rather I can remove this part as well, right? So in this case, what I need to do, there is a cursor option you have, right? So in this particular case, can you see I have given a database name. Now I will go to my MySQL and I will create a database. Now how to create a database? You can write create database GLA and 1 you can write. Okay, I have given this. I have just create this particular database. Now again GLA underscore 1, right? I have use GLA underscore 1, right? What is that? First, I have created a database that is called GLA underscore 1. Then I have used that particular database. Now, as you have created this database, what you can see, you can just replace the name over here, right? After you replace the name over here, what will happen? You said, now I have a cursor. What is this cursor do? So this cursor is basically like, help you to, point it out where your database is, right? Now, if you say mydb.cursor, you have called cursor. Now you have said my cursor dot execute. Now please execute my commands of SQL in Python. What command I have given? Now I have written create table. So what is the command we use while we try to create any table in our database? We use create table, then the table name, which is nothing but customers underscore table. And it will be the name and address column we will have, right? So I have done this and it's worked out, right? Can you see it's executed? Now, if I go back to my MySQL, and if I just write show tables, right? If I want to check what are the tables we have in our MySQL or in our database, what we do? We use show table commands. Can you see? This is already customer table is created over here. What you have done? We have write the command in the Python IDE and it's working in your MySQL. Right? So this is how we can connect our MySQL with Python. So guys, do you have any doubt till so far? If you have any doubt, please do let me know. I would love to help you to solve your doubts. And if you like the video, do not forget to like it and do not forget to subscribe. Great learning. Okay, some of you are asking, what do you mean by varchar? Can we use anything instead of varchar? So varchar is a data type, right? We have given the data type for this particular column. So this will be my varchar and this is the length of the name. At how much length it will take the data, right? So this is how we have done and we have created a table and we have successfully made the connection with SQL and Python, right? Now, as we have done this, now we will see what are the existing table we have. Let me change the database name over here. Okay, now what I have done. So, same what I have done over here, that show tables, I can do the same thing over here as well. So, what I need to do, I have just use a cursor again. We have called a cursor. Can you tell me another ID to make SQL program? Okay, another ID to make SQL program. I did not get you SQL logic. If you can explain me in a more better way, I will be happy. right? Okay. So here what we are going to do, we have written mycursor.execute and we have written show tables command. Now maybe we have more than one table. What to do that time? For that we have used a for loop, right? So this is optional. If you want, you cannot. If you know already one table, you have, right? Now if I just want to add insert records to my table, how to do that? So I have written insert into customer table, name, address and values. Percentage S is basically going to give the number. Now this is something I'm going to give the value John and Highway 21. Now again I'm going to execute it and let's see. Can you see one record is inserted over here? It's showing. Now if I go back and if I just want to do select star from then customer table, right? The table name we have. So if we need to retrieve any data, we need to use a command called select command, right? How many of you know that? So basic of, okay, what's the command's name? Okay, this is customers table. Okay, I just gave the wrong name. Okay, so how many of you know what is select command? Yes, can you see the John Highway 20 is inserted by again ID? Right. Now you can see if I want to insert again, right? Now if you see if I want to, I'm sorry, I'm just giving a pause as there is a phone ringing. Right. Right. Okay. So if I want to insert so many, values one at a time, how can I do that? I have written insert into customer table, then name, address and value, right? You can do this like in at a time. You can insert so many records as well in your table using Python again, right? Yes. Yes, you have to download MySQL Workbench. So yes, this is pretty much about the whole session we were talking about. Now, if you want to use select star from customer table, everything you can do, right? Can you see? This is whole we have done. So yeah, this is pretty much about the session. I know there are lots of disturbance we have today. I'm really apologizing for that. And I hope you like it. And if you like the session, do not forget to like it and do not forget to subscribe. Great learning, right? And guys, if you have any doubt, please do let me know. I will happily help you out to solve your doubts as well. Right? Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next session. Bye.